Duvet Days. Now this is one of my favorite pairs of shoes, and I think every beautiful lovely lady out there should have a pair of these. Honestly, it is an absolute game saver. I think that one of the strategies that I have and that I often recommend to beautiful ladies who come to me all the time is, that are overwhelmed, that they're stressed out, they just can't see the woods for the trees, which is half the reason people come to me anyway. It's like, I need clarity, I need certainty, I'm so lost in the woods, I don't know how the hell to get out, right? And who doesn't? Everybody's had that experience in some stage of their life. It's just when it becomes an ongoing, that it becomes more of a concern, because then it can impact how you feel on an ongoing basis, can't it? So duvet days are absolutely crucial, in my humble opinion, because it gives you the space that you need. So I've spoken to you guys about owl and super owl shoes, and how the owl sits up in the tree to observe, and then sometimes you need your super owl shoes, which takes you even further up, and looks at the whole forest. So duvet days gives you the space that you need to recover, to regroup, to get grounded, and to get focused again, to allow yourself the space that you're needing in order for that to happen. So if we don't create that space, if we don't give ourselves the time to recharge our batteries, it's like, I say this to my kids, like, you have to recharge the iPads, your iPhones, or, whatever it is. You have to plug them in, don't you, to recharge those batteries. And that's what duvet days are all about. And I quite literally, I don't do it as much now since I've had kids, but beforehand, just even running my business, I would have to have a day, like every several months, like every 3 months, I would just have a duvet day. And it would be where I shut the curtains, I close the door, I'd go for a bath, I sleep, I meditate, I listen to something that's nurturing and positive. I don't answer phone calls at all. That's a categorical no. I don't take calls, visitors, nothing. It's complete and utter. What like I do with my retreat concepts, is disconnect to reconnect. And that's really what you're kind of needing to do. Sometimes you just have to unplug. You just have to go, I'm just going to take a break from life at the moment. And sometimes you need to do that. And sometimes, dare I say, that you actually need to do more than one day. Like there's been times where, like I would fly to Australia before I had kids. And I would have duvet weeks, and I would go and hit a beach, because beaches are my thing. And the whole idea was to get clear and focused about where I was going in the business, and to nut out like on a yearly basis. And then I would break it down into quarters, and then I'd break it down into months, like targets, goals, which direction am I going in. I would use that time I wouldn't take calls from the office. Like I just made sure that everything got handled, that someone was in the office, in the studio, to look after all the clients and their queries, etc. And no phone calls, like from anyone, my hubby, of course. I would connect with him, but it was literally communications to an absolute bare minimum, massages, treatments, sunshine, swimming in the ocean, connecting with nature, just recharging the batteries. And just giving myself that space gave me the energy to then be able to pick up and work on the right things when I got back. Like this, okay team, I'm back now, and this is what came out of that time. So it's that whole thing of, if you don't make the space, how are you going to allow for whatever you want to come in? So it's not, the Zen shoes, the Buddha shoes that I talk about in the channel, that is all about giving yourself every day time to Zen, to get quiet, to listen to the universe, to get your answers, to put your question out, and allow for your higher self, the universe, life force, whatever you want to call it, to come up with ideas and deliver the answers to you. If you don't create that space in the first place, you're not going to get it. If it's stormy in your brain and in your emotions, and you've got a lot of noise going on, and there's what I call a lot of racket. If there's a rackety, and you've got everything on volume high, and you're on you're going full out at 110 miles an hour, and you're da 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 da. In there, you're not going to, like, I'm just thinking, like, say you're running full out in a marathon, and you're going as hard and fast as you possibly can. Are you going to notice the flowers on the way? Are you going to notice that there's a chair or whatever that you could actually sit on and get some clarity on? Like, do you need to be going full out and then suddenly you find you're actually on the wrong path? So you could, sometimes you actually just need to sit down, just take a chill pill, and just go, take a breath. Let's just have a duvet day where we can, think about it. So the Zen and Buddha shoes are the, space that you allow yourself every single day, and find your inner Zen, your inner Buddha, your eye of the storm. So while there's chaos, and especially if it's chaotic, that is when it's critical to do it. That's when you want your Buddha shoes on. That's when you lock the doors and you get up early before the whole world's woken up, and you allocate your 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. And if you can't do that, even 5 minutes, something, anything, every single day, ideally twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. I do that. But then your duvet days is like a longer extended version of that. It's like regrouping, getting recentered. Maybe you take yourself off to a retreat. When I start doing my retreats, maybe join us on one of our retreats, where it gives you a disconnect to reconnect time. It gives you that duvet time. It's nurturing the soul. It's feeding your soul. It's giving you permission to be who you really are, being accepted for who you really are, not being judged for who you actually are, healing whatever needs to be healed so that you can be who you really are, moving in the direction that you actually want to move, and getting clear on what that is so that you are able to then go, right, those are not the shoes I want to wear. I don't want to be on that path. I want to be over here. I want to be doing that. And I'm so stressed out. I'm so overwhelmed. Stop. Take duvet day. Duvet days. And even sometimes, like, I have many ones where it's like Saturday afternoons. I did this more when the kids were younger. Highly recommended. I mean, it was challenging for my hubby to accept at the beginning, but overall, making space. What I did every Saturday afternoon, I said, Saturday mornings, darling, you go off, you do whatever you want to do. Get yourself your space, which is like a mini duvet day. It's like, just go and have space for yourself. Just go and do what you want to do. Go hang out with your friends. Go for walks, or, play golf, or whatever, guys do. Go fishing. I don't know what it is that you do, but do a man thing, and where there's no stress about work. There's no stress about the kids. There's no stress about, whatever it is. Just go off and just have some chillax time. And then in the afternoons was my turn, and I would do that with my friends. So I'd go for walks, I'd connect to nature, I'd go for walks with friends. If I needed time out, I would just go and walk myself to clear my head, to get rid of the stress. Or maybe I'd go for a run, or I might go, if I was big on swimming, so I'd go for swims at a local resort here, which is very quiet, it's very exclusive. So it's not in with all the crazy mayhem and lots of other kids that triggered me. It's like, get in the pool, do your laps, go and have a sauna, which is, I was religious about that at one point, especially when I was a mum with young kids. So if you're one of these lovely ladies listening to me, I'm telling you, make time every single week. Do your duvet shoes as often as you can, just even if it's for a few hours. So you might be the person who needs to retreat and go in, and then there's others who need to go out. But try not to lose yourself in too much busyness. The duvet days is about making the space for the quietness to enter, for you to be able to recharge your batteries so that you can get your second wind that can get you onto the next plane, ready for the next week. So the Zen shoes are really important for, your Buddha shoes for when there's chaos, and doing every single day, every day, making time for yourself, just little steps, okay? And then every Saturday or whenever, just having a little bit of time that's allocated for yourself, and where you're not overdoing it in that time as well. Make sure it's about recharging the batteries, making the space for the calmness to enter, to get re-energized. And then, you know, every year or every quarter or every 6 months, do duvet days where it's a full duvet day, where, you know, you don't get disturbed at all. If you have to take yourself away from the house to do that, then go do that. Book yourself into a hotel or a retreat or something that will get you. Maybe it's that you know, you go out into nature. I don't know what it is that floats your boat. Your shoes, your path, your way, right? But make sure that you put those shoes on, those duvet day shoes on. And if you need to do weeks, go for it. Maybe you go and do a retreat for a week or 4 days. If you say, oh, Vicky, I don't have time, I'm a busy mum, I can't do that, then start with 3 days, start with 4 days. You know, don't do a whole week if you can't afford to do it. You know, if it's a finance thing, but give yourself permission to do it, then do it, and you will be a much better mother for it. You will be so much more clear-headed as a career mum, as a business owner, you know, mumpreneur. You will be so much more onto it than you ever would have been before, if you didn't have if you have not had created the space. If I could speak, I would say, sorry, you create the space so that you can be better for it, is really at the end of the day. And making that time, it's little steps, you know, little step every day, just a little, you know, a few moments with the Zen Buddhas, and then your duvet days weekly, quarterly for a longer day, and then a bigger one if you can once a year, or at least twice a year. Make time for you. You will be better for it in all aspects of your life. It'll give you clarity. It takes you out of the forest. You will get vision. You will get clear on what your path is, and you'll go, damn, that's what it is. That's the answer. That's the way I wanted to go. I've got several solutions to that now, and it just helps you so much. So I give you permission to do that. And if you're that type of person that's going to do that, why don't you say what you're going to give yourself permission to do? I'm going to give myself permission to do a duvet day on every Saturday. Make a commitment, put it in the comments box. If you want to keep it private, direct message me and say, thank you very much, I found that useful, and you know what, I'm actually going to do that. And then what I'd like to know is, once you've actually done it, how much better you feel for it and what difference it made, because it really does make a difference. Hope you like that. If you did, like, share, subscribe, and wouldn't you be kind enough to, you know, let somebody else know about this, and let us know in the Facebook group what your thoughts are, if you're up for that. Okay, anyway, I hope you found that useful. Namaste.